friends? I hope you're doing well. Hopefully, I'm gonna get my purple touched up in my hair soon. My bangs are really short right now, so I feel like a gender bent He-Man, which is why I'm wearing the beanie. But once the purple's touched up, I feel like my hair won't look as bad. I also got ink all over my fingers from an ink pen, and I'm missing some nails, so don't come for me because I am already aware. With that said, let me tell you why I've gathered you all here today. I have gathered you all here today because I am fucking terrified of cannibals. I know most people don't really want to be murdered, and when they are murdered, they don't usually have a choice. But I will say this, I do not want to be eaten. Like, that is like a true fear of mine. And I came to this revelation when I was like 15, 16. Like, back in the day, like, I used to like smoke weed, watch horror movies, and like my mind would just like spiral over some things. Maybe spiral isn't the best word because that's like kind of intense, but the gears would be turning like after some of these movies or shows that I would watch. So the first one I want to talk about is this movie called Barrio Tales. I will give you guys like a brief plot of it, and then I'll just tell you my experience with that movie. So the plot is, two American teenagers in search of cheap drugs trespass into the seedy town of Barrio, Mexico. What they find instead is a disturbed storyteller and three tales filled with blood, witches, and a cannibalistic taco chef. Alright, so that already tells you what you need to know on my fear. Now, realistically, this movie is stupid as fuck. Like, I honestly don't recommend watching it. And I will be honest, I did not rewatch it, like, in order to do research for this video essay. I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know if this is really a video essay. I didn't write a script. I didn't really do any research. I'm just gonna tell you what I know and how I feel about it. If you do wanna watch it, I think you can buy it on Amazon Prime. When I did watch it years ago, it was like 2013 and it was on Netflix. But with that said, basic gist, like, you know, the two Americans, they find this storyteller. The first story was about a witch. It's been a long time since I watched this movie, so like my memory is a little fuzzy. And quite frankly, this isn't relevant to the topic of this video anyway, so I'm just gonna do a brief skim. There's a witch. These guys don't know she's a witch. They fucked around and found out. That's the end of the first story. The third story is, like, I want to say it was like some like Mexicans versus like cowboys story. I know it was like Mexicans versus Americans, but anyway, first story, third story, they're irrelevant. Let's talk about the second story that had me spooked. So basically, there is a taco truck and there's these three kids and they really enjoy these tacos. So the taco man tells them that, you know, you should come help me sometime. So one of the boys does go to help him, and then he goes missing. Surprise, surprise. And, you know, people are freaking out. They don't know why this boy's missing, but they're still eating these tacos. Eventually, I don't even remember what happens, but, like, one of the kids does eventually get suspicious, and, you know, he breaks into the taco truck, and he doesn't make it. There was, like, no happy ending to it because the taco truck continued to run like ain't nothing happened. So, like, that is the first contribution to my fear of cannibalism, because you gotta think about it, like, okay, so to just totally disappear and then like nobody finds you, like, that's crazy. And then just to be like secretly feeding people to the public, like, these people don't even know like they're eating humans either. Like, that is so wild to me. And like, I'm pretty sure like things like this have actually happened before. But like, let's also talk about the second reason that I am scared of cannibals, and it's actually The Walking Dead. And no, it's not the fucking zombies, it's the humans. I want to say it was season 4 of The Walking Dead when they hit Terminus. So basically, Terminus was supposed to be this sanctuary, like a safe haven. Remember when like Rick and the group first like discovered this place, like they were cooking steaks and stuff like that. So there was already like questions being raised, like, how are these people getting like fresh meat and like stuff like that? And it turns out, yes, they were cannibals. So to like add some further plot points to that, In the Walking Dead television series, Terminus is a location introduced in the latter part of Season 4 and heavily featured in the beginning of Season 5. It's portrayed as a settlement located at the end of some railroad tracks in Georgia. The original residents, including leader Gareth and his mother Mary, established Terminus as a sanctuary welcoming survivors with promises of safety and community. So basically the group, they found these like signs along the road basically saying Terminus, sanctuary and stuff like that. And people would follow these signs until they found Terminus, and they were basically lured into a trap. It was basically like, join us or be eaten. The transformation of Terminus. Initially, Terminus aimed to provide refuge for survivors in the post-apocalyptic world. However, this changed dramatically after a group of bandits invaded, imprisoning, raping, and killing some of the residents. This horrific experience instilled in the survivors a deep sense of betrayal and a never-again mindset, leading them to adopt a brutal philosophy. You're the butcher or you're the cattle. So that's what I was saying. Join us or be eaten. After regaining control of their settlement, the Terminus residents under Gareth's leadership transformed into a group of cannibals. They continued to use the sanctuary facade to lure in new survivors, offering them a choice. Join them and accept their new way of life, which included cannibalism, or become their next meal. Also, sorry about butchering that. I was talking faster than I was reading, and I have a bad habit of doing that. And also, we're just going to go ahead and say this is not a video essay now because I'm pretty much committing plagiarism, reading shit from Google. Rick's group and the downfall of Terminus. Rick Grimes and his group arrived at Terminus in 2 stages. Some members of the group, including Glenn and Maggie, arrived earlier and were captured and imprisoned in a train car. When Rick, Daryl, Carl, and Michonne arrived later, they were also overpowered and forced into the same train car. Carol, acting independently, launched a daring rescue mission against Terminus, using fireworks to attract a massive herd of walkers to overrun the compound. This created a diversion that allowed Rick's group to escape. The ensuing chaos resulted in the deaths of many Terminus residents. Fuck, my tongue twisted so hard there. A group of surviving Terminus residents led by Gareth escaped the chaos and began hunting Rick's group, ultimately leading to a final confrontation at Father Gabriel's church, where they were eliminated by Rick and his people. And I think, that's how they met fucking Father Gabriel. Father Gabriel is the fucking man. I love that man. But they didn't mention how these motherfuckers ate Bob's leg. Bob, I think Bob was sleeping, and they did eat his fucking leg. And then they were gonna eat him some more, and that's when fucking Carol saved them. So when I watched both Barrio Tales and The Walking Dead, this was around the same point in my life. So back to back, this really had my fucking gears turning in my brain and thinking about it more, and how much I would not want that as a fate. My final thoughts here are, if I want to die, I want to have a fucking body to be found. Just the thought of it so unsettling. Your fate is digesting in someone's body and being shit out. And like I said, there's a good chance your family doesn't even find out about it. And that's scary. However, I will say, if for some reason my bones can at least be recovered, I would love to have jewelry made out of my bones for my family and friends, and maybe they can fight over my skull or something. I don't know, or I don't know, if I have kids, one of my kids could, or my kids could fight for my skull, or if I don't have kids, my lover gets my skull. That would be so romantic. And I just realized I just went on a whole fucked up tangent there, but I hope you guys enjoyed entering my fucked up brain for a second there. And if there's anything else you guys would love to hear me talk about, please comment some things, because I really do want to make more videos. I am going to try to at least have a monthly upload. Maybe if I can get more accustomed to this, maybe weekly uploads. But at least count on one video once a month. And with that said, bye! Have a beautiful time!